Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is Build and Tinker and my name is Mike. Today we're going to be continuing with the build of the 1966 1/8 scale Batmobile from Fanhome DeAgostini, and we are now on issue 3. We have previously in issues 1 and 2 completed the bonnet and one of the wheels, and now we're moving on to some more iconic parts. So let's get building. So as you can see, nice big box here with issue 3, and as we open the magazine we see more interesting facts about the program, but we're going to skip straight ahead to the parts and see what we have. And there's quite a few pieces. So we have some parts of the top of the car, the piece that goes over the top of the roof, either side of the domes of the windshield, and the rotating beacon light that sits on the top of that. So let's open the box. So lots of pieces in here, and some of them are handed, so it's important to ensure you know which are left and right versions of different parts. In most cases, in previous models, they have been stamped either with an L or an R to show which is left and which is right. That's not always the case, but it's always worth inspecting the parts to see if they have that. In some cases, they may be labelled as left and right, but they're actually identical. I can't see any difference between those, but we will have a closer look when it comes to installing them. So those are left and right arms for the dome lens, and then we have this piece here which goes, this is actually metal. It looks plastic on camera, I'm sure, but this is actually metal. It's a really nice piece, and it has some stickers on it already that say emergency bat turn lever on one side, and on the other side it says the same, emergency bat turn lever. So that's a really nice metal piece. This piece here is the trim piece, and that's made of plastic. I believe that goes on the underside. But really nice pieces, lots of detail. We've also got our first piece of electronics, which is a red flashing light, presumably for the dome. I will fit this, but the chances are we'll be modifying that to make it rotate properly. So the first step is to assemble the roll bar light lenses. These are little warning lights that go on the side of this roll bar, and we need to assemble the lenses onto their back pieces. So these are actually fitted to sprues. There's a number of, just pop these pieces out of the way. There's 2 sprues there, each one with 2 lamp lenses on. And then we also have the bases, which are also on sprues. Just double check I've got the right piece. So that's what they call the cup, and that's the lens. So first we need to remove them from the sprues with just a very gentle twist. If you have any remaining plastic left, you can sometimes just pull it off with your nail or a small craft knife. I may need to go and get a craft knife. So 2 came off cleanly and 1 didn't. Just gently twist these lenses off to avoid snapping them. So if you twist them in the circular motion, there we are, they come off really easy. So I need to get myself, or do I? No, I managed to break that one off quite easily. Just bend it back and it comes off. Same with that one. So we simply push the lenses into the cups. So that they sit nice and flush, like that. Very easy. Then we take the metal top bar and we just rest these into the little recesses. So they're just going to sit there for now. There's nothing holding them in. We'll put the other two in, and then there's a bar that goes across and holds them in place. I hope you can see that on the camera. So they are just resting in the little recesses there. Then we take this piece here, which is 03P, and we sit it. Thought that might happen. It's pretty easy to knock these out. Okay, it just sits over the top and holds them down. And I think it has a right way round, because I tried to put it one way round. It didn't really want to sit in, and when I spun it round, it went in quite nicely. So we put in 2 ACM screws to hold that bar in place. And that's going to hold those 4 lights in place. I don't think they actually illuminate. Okay, and there we have it. Looks pretty good. So having finished the installation of these side indicators, we now have to put the beacon in, and we start by taking the beacon chrome top piece and placing it over the top of the hole here. That it's hard to see on camera, but there's 2 little holes, and on the beacon itself there are 2 little pins. So we just push that into the pins, line up with the holes, and it just holds itself in position to start with. Yeah, it's a pretty good fit. It's not really going anywhere. And then from the underside we take the red lens and we just install that into the center of the beacon, so it looks like that. Looks pretty smart. And then take the chrome base which is 03I, and the LED, and we insert the LED into the underside of the base through the little hole. Again, it's just a push fit, and then there's a little recess for the cable to bend out of, and then that is installed again on the underside so that the cable comes out towards the back of the car, I believe it is, the wider end of this piece, and you just sit that in place. Now we have to screw, this is where our foam comes in handy again. I'll put some foam pieces up. We need to screw into this, but we don't want to damage the dome, so we're going to lay this on 2 pieces of foam so that the dome isn't going to get snapped off. We then take this piece here, which is 03F. It's a black bracket and it has a little pin sticking out of it. The pin has to face up and out, not in towards the light. And we use a couple of AM screws to hold that into place. It's a little bit fiddly to get started. Okay, so there we have it, one beacon installed. Next we're installing these three parts. This is the bat turn lever. So there's a rubber boot, a lever with a sort of ball shape on the end, and a T-handle. So we install into the base of the boot the narrow end of this lever until the ball needs to be pushed in a little, and then you can pull it all the way out from this side so that you've got that, and essentially the ball shape is holding it all together. This then installs from the underside of this panel. Just push it through the hole, so it looks like that, and then we push the T lever into the hole in the end, the T handle, sorry, into the hole in the end of the lever, and that's what we have. Back to this piece, we're now going to install these two upright supports. They screw in with two NP screws on each one. They're really small, these screws, they're tiny. So yeah, just be very careful. They look very easy to lose. Again, I want to use, they're screwed in from underneath, so I want to use some foam to protect these parts. Okay, that was fiddly, but we're there. The next step is to install a couple of plastic caps. They're red and they sit push fit on top of these stands. They look amazing. So obviously little beacons. Again, they don't light up because of how small this is. But there we have it. What a great piece. So all that leaves for us to do now is to bring these pieces together. This piece fits onto this. We just need to route the cable out through, there's a square hole in the end of this panel. That needs to route out of there. And then we can push the panel down nice and tight. Yeah, it's a good snug fit. And then there are 3 screws to hold it into place. Let me get my foam back again. Actually, I need it to be a bit taller. because there's lots of things on the bottom that could snap off. There are 4 screws actually, 4 AMs. 2 at this end, 1 in the middle and 1 at that end. And there we have it. One completed piece. And it does look pretty special. So we will be doing some mods on this at some point. We definitely have to deal with the rotating light. It's not good enough just being a single LED. But the rest of it is pretty good. So that was it for issue 3, and the car's really coming along now with some great pieces. So now we're going to move on to issue 4, which is going to be a short one. So issue 4 is going to be quite a quick one because there's not a lot to do. It's basically focused on the windshield, which you can see here, this famous double dome windshield, and we're just going to fit a couple of brackets to it. So let's get started with that. So first we'll tear open the box. Again, this is another piece that's not going to be fitted until quite late in the model, I think. So we're going to keep this box to keep the windshield safe. So here it is. It's plastic and probably quite fragile. But it looks amazing with the chrome trim around the outside of it. In the box were 2 brackets, both chromed, and presumably one is left and one is right. In fact, it's probably impossible to see on camera, but embossed on the back, you won't be able to see that. Embossed on the back of this one is an L, and on the back of this one is an R. So these are the supports for the windshield, and they don't even screw on, they just push fit. So we take the windshield, make sure it's facing the same way as the picture. We take the left hand windshield support, and we simply push it into 2 holes on the side of the frame here. Quite nervous about breaking this. There are 2 little studs in the bracket and 2 little holes in the frame of the windshield. And it just pushes into place. And it makes rather disconcerting cracking noises as it goes in. Just be really careful, take your time. And that's it. So there, if you can see, we've got a bracket now on the corner of the windshield on both sides. And that really is all there is to do in issue 4. So we're going to pop this back in the box because I suspect we won't be needing this for quite some time. So that was it for issue 4. Really, really quick, short, not a lot to do. And we now have a piece that we're going to have to carefully look after and make sure it doesn't get broken. So thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please comment below. Remember to like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you soon for the next video. Take care.